the neon lights, we take a stand. Knights and wizards across the land.
I know. It's Thursday. It's 8:35 in the morning. It's the 17th day of July, 2025. It is gloomy, because of course it is. And I know we don't normally do news on Thursday, but a lot of teeny stories dropped that I realize we haven't covered. These might be important. They might be not important. Now, the 100% more waifu. Thank you, Elven Maiden. We present tabletop role-playing game news stories we might have missed. All these come to us for our good friends at enworld. Okay, so this seems to be the thing. Nobody's really covered this, but this book of pets and sidekicks I am seeing posts for at least twice a day. So somebody is really trying to push this as the next big D&D thing. Now, I think it's from enworld officially. It does say Level Up 5e, which was their Level Up 5e product that they came out with a bit ago. So that might be why, but I'm not just seeing the ads on the enworld. I'm seeing the ads on Overworld. So either Morris is investing a lot of energy in trying to get this things to be over, or it's way more bigger. That is not a sentence. Way bigger than anybody thought. So why is this a thing? Why an entire book dedicated to pets and familiars? I mean, true. Has it been covered before? Kind of, sort of. I feel like it has. I'm sure books about pets have been covered before, and how to role play your pet beholder, or how to tame a gelatinous cube, what happens if you lose your familiar, the advantages of a flying pet, and how long can you keep that pet alive because you know the DM's going to try and kill it. Because they know the second the player characters get attached to something or buy something, the world is going to be like, you really love that dog. What happened to the dog? I don't know what your dog you're talking about, Superman. What happened to the dog? There's a little cheat. Now, I'm hoping what this covers is hey, let's adopt because, we have all been in the D&D campaign or where the player characters encounter something and they decide to adopt it. Hey, let's give all our magic items to this goblin we just found because he's so cute. Oh, look at the baby beholder. Can't we take us with us? So I'd say 50% of the time any character has a pet, it's because they found it in a dungeon and they decided to take it home, whether that was a good idea or not. Oh, Mom, can I keep the Tarrasque? I know it ain't Billy, but I mean, come on. So yeah, I guess this is newsworthy simply because I am seeing it everywhere. And there it is again. We talked about the Wizards of the Coast changing species in Eberron. Right after announcing they were done with Dungeons and Dragons and done with Campaign 3 in Exandria and moving on to Daggerheart and whatever it's going to be, they announced another world tour. Critical Role announces their 2026 live tour. 3 shows in Europe. 5 live shows are planned. Atlanta, Berlin, Edinburgh, London, and Dallas. That is a weird hodgepodge of places to village. There'll be 5 shows, the usual cast. Travis is going to be DMing at least one of them. We don't know what system it's going to be. It's called the Echoes of Exandria Terms. So we can expect the characters to be something associated with the core rule. This could be the tying up all the loose ends and bringing Exandria to a close game. Maybe there's some plot lines that never got resolved, or some minor characters that need to be filled up, or maybe they just need more quality product for the upcoming Mighty 9 animated series. They are doing that. We don't know when we're going to see it, but they are doing it. Or maybe it could be how they're going to transition from Exandria Dungeons and Dragons to Exandria Next Generation Daggerheart. Here's us handing the torch to the next generation. We're tying up all the loose ends so that when Exandria 2026 begins, or whatever Critical Role 2026 is going to be with these new people, we can say with some sense of finality, we have told the story, we've closed the door, we don't ever need to go back there. Or if we do go back there, it'll be either a part of Exandria we've never seen before, or it'll be so far in the future or so far in the past that the campaign 1, 2, and 3 really don't have any effect on it. I don't know. For anybody who cares, what would you like to see them do with Exandria? Do you want to see them continue the stories in Exandria and constantly referencing the old characters? Do you want to see a brand new set of stories set in Exandria? Just either another part or another timeline? I don't know, but it does seem funny that right after they said, hey, we're done. No, we lied. We talked about this. Studio Agate has taken over 7th Sea from Chaosium. 7th Sea is the pirate fantasy role-playing game that has gotten into a little trouble in the past. But it looks like a new company has taken the reins. This game can't seem to find a home or a fan base. And you would think pirates, everybody loves pirates. Who doesn't love pirates? That guy has a cyborg arm. We're all seeing that, right? But I guess nobody loves pirates because nobody can keep this game going. But the game's been around forever. So we'll see what happens. You would think pirates, fantasy pirates. Who doesn't love pirates? But One Piece. I mean, come on, One Piece. And then there's this. The Do We Really Need It new edition of Mutants and Masterminds coming soon. Playtest launches at the end of the month. Is this going to be one of those playtests I have to pay for? Mutants and Masterminds is the D20-based Champions game that Green Ronin has repeatedly tried to make. It was big, and then there were other games that came out better. It's level-based D20 Champions. So you have a class, that class levels up, you get the points like champions. It was a mess, and it's had like 3 previous versions. They're doing a 4th version. Now, could this 4th version also be an attempt for them to get more money? This speedster here is running in corduroys. I mean, okay, here's knockoff Batman, but it's scarabs. Here's knockoff Robo Boy. Here's knockoff Aquaman, but it's a girl. There's Hawkeye. There's a giant crystal thing. This is either their Superman or this is their Superman. And there's knockoff Flash, but knockoff Flash, whose name is obviously either Runner or Racer, is wearing corduroys. That's not what running pants look like, but whatever. This guy looks, I don't know. This guy doesn't look right. Probably AI. I don't know. This is probably them trying to make more money for the whole Green Ronin Diamond Publishing thing, releasing a 4th edition of a game that I don't know needs a 4th edition. Was there enough wrong with Mutants and Masterminds 3? Because I heard Mutants and Masterminds 2 and 3 are really good, but I guess not. I don't know. I just report the stories. I don't see. Look, here they're talking about it again. Cthulhu by Gaslight Investigator's Guide has come out from, I guess, Chaosium. This is the Gaslight age of Victorian England as opposed to the normal age of Victorian England. I don't know how Gaslight versus normal Cthulhu is. I guess they're saying that normal Cthulhu is 1920, but Gaslight era is the 1890s through the 1900s. And then normal Cthulhu is 1920, and then I don't know. I don't know if it really is a whole entire book, but if you want to explore 1890s London or America, Cowboys versus Godzilla, Cthulhu. Yeah, it's just news. I have no input really other than news. I'm just saw a whole bunch of news stories. I thought we should cover them. Why is there no David Cronenberg Scanners role-playing game yet? Because why would there be? There were more Scanners movies than anybody thought, but I don't know if it needs an entire role-playing universe. We've got the Dungeon Delves thing that Wizards has already forgotten about. We've got the Green Ronin crowdfunding legal defense thing to get their product off of the shelves at Diamond and back in their stores. Some people have said, hey, it's shitty that you're doing a GoFundMe, but we're not getting anything in return. And 50% of me is like, yeah, they should at least give you a PDF of something, at least a quick start rules of Mutants and Masterminds or whatever. And another 50% of me is like, they don't have to give you anything. What they're trying to do is get their product back so you can buy it in the future. Like, Freeport. Where's the new Freeport stuff? This thing. Yeah, there is another ad for the pets thing. Echoes of Exandria, we covered that. The new Mutants and Masterminds, we covered that. So yeah, that's just bits and pieces of news. Nothing really earth-shattering. Wizards of the Coast has been relatively quiet this week, other than the announcement of the $50 starter box, which I think is a little ridiculous. Since I can buy the core rules for $40, and the $50 starter box does seem to be a little gimmick heavy, which what happens when I lose the X? What happens when I lose the cards? What happens when I lose the chits? What happens when I lose the whatever? Are there replacements available? The same question goes for you, Daggerheart. What happens if I lose the stuff? Will there be replacements available on the web store or free or whatever? I don't know, man. I'm just here to question your reality. I'm not here to judge. I am pretty judgy, but I'm not really here to judge. I'm I'm not here to complain. I'm here to offer the questions that nobody else offers. What's wrong with my voice today? The hard-hitting, deep, probing questions like, why does this need to exist? Right? Well, now more news with more waifu. I'll talk to you later. I'm sure something else will happen today that's far more newsworthy than this. But until then, have a great day. Stay safe out there. And hopefully you're having a summer where you live, because I'm not.
Monsters lurking in the night. Heroes ready for the fight.